I thank them humbly for all the confidence they've shown in me. Uh, well, I thought it was a fab idea, because I was so sick and tired of everyone asking me, "तो अब आप कब size zero बनने वाली हैं?" So, but no, I think it's a great cover. I think the idea behind it is very great. That it's not about who you are, where you come from. You could come from any geographical, political background. You could have any kind of leanings. You could look a particular way. You could have a disability maybe. But the fact is that if you have fire in your belly and you have the will to do what you want to do, I think you should just believe in yourself and follow your dream. And I think that's the whole idea of being unstoppable, which is why I thought, I just jumped at it really.
At the back over here, Sneha from Times Now. Firstly, congratulations. That was a really inspiring monologue, if I may. Due respect to you. I'm just really coming from a place trying to understand what really made you do a cover like this. In the sense, did you find yourself having to conform to certain stereotypes that come with being a Bollywood actress that today you find the need to break away from? Or did you find yourself at a handicap if you did not match these stereotypes in the industry that we come from?
Well, thank you for your question. It's a very pertinent question, and I have to admit that, I've been fairly fortunate. I've been in Bombay for about 4.5 years now. I'm working with some filmmakers that are probably on the wish list of every actor. I'm pretty happy in terms of where my career is going. Honestly, the kind of filmmakers I've worked with or the films I've done, they've never really asked me to change anything about who I am. They have hired me because they felt I could do the job, that I was a decent actor. And, and I thank them humbly for all the confidence they've shown in me. But yes, of course, sometimes it's not very nice to hear very unflattering comments on blogs and social media about you. And I'm quite a social media friendly person, I read everything that there's out there. Yeah, it's not nice. And you understand that sometimes, people are just doing for attention. Some people just do it because I guess it just is something you can say on social media and run away with, and it doesn't really matter. But what it does collectively for a lot of people who are consuming this information is that it sets very negative kind of role models for people who are watching it or consuming it, and that's not really cool. I've always I've always been very happy in my skin. I've grown up in a family where I had a lot of love. Although they were very conservative, I was never told you can't do something because you're a girl, or because something's allowed to your brothers but they're not allowed to you. And I think that was very important. That gave me a lot of confidence in myself as a person. And I think वो बहुत ज़रूरी होता है. मतलब if you always are told that there's something you can't have or you're not good enough, I think if that self-belief or their self-esteem is sort of shaken, you can't do anything. Initially, of course, I mean, like all girls, I've also done the whole rigmarole, falling fat diets and everything. Because it's like this constant thing that you have to just do. You just have to be perfect in every possible way. But I guess you should just, if you learn to be happy with yourself and you learn to accept yourself for who you are, I think that just keeps you happier in the long run.
मैं थोड़ी सी healthy हूँ and people say that बहुत मोटी हो and पतले हो जाने चाहिए and all that. So
उनसे बात करना बंद कर दो. वो दोस्त नहीं है आपके.
तो मुझे आपसे tips चाहिए कि क्या कर सकते हैं, like because you just said that my body, my rules. So and I feel that I am perfect according to me. So I want you to give me some tips on that.
But you are perfect. Everyone just look at her. Can you stand up for us, please? Just stand up for us. Isn't she amazing? Isn't she beautiful? Come on, let's just clap for her.
Thank you so much.
You said you're perfect just now, and then you said, but you'd like her to say something to you or give you any advice. That's exactly a contradiction in the statement, and that's exactly the problem that happens with all of us women, is we should actually just believe that we're perfect, and if we're saying it, then we should believe it and we should live it, and you shouldn't ask anybody for an approval, whether it is, no offense, a Bollywood star or anybody else, for that matter.
Like the issue talks about be unstoppable, right? This sort of Femina issue talks about be unstoppable. But in the past, you were a little taken aback with your reports of link-ups with a lot of people, and there were rumors about your marriage and a lot of that stuff. So
No, I just feel very flattered that people are more than my mother. The media is concerned about when I'm getting married, but this is not the right forum for me to talk about my marriage right now. Let's talk about the new issue. Let's talk about all these wonderful women that are here and talk about their achievements and their stories. Can do as a society for women is to just create those support structures that they very badly need. You know, it's all good to say that look within and be strong and all of that, but I think it's so important, whether it's at the workplace, whether you're walking on the street and you see something bad happening, whether it's our legal system, whatever it may be, we need to take into account that we live in a society which is not balanced, and therefore we need to sort of make sure that the women folk are sort of their needs and their concerns are looked after. For example, like maternity leaves or stuff like that at the workplace. I mean, it's so important that a woman has a career, but it's also the time when, I guess, from your 20s to your 30s, where you're supposed to have babies and all of that. And it's so important to take that into consideration and have those kind of laws or regulations which support you.